Okay, I'm sitting down with André Moraes, the global head of digital marketing for PepsiCo Foodservice. André, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so André, I think the digital customer is on everybody's minds today, particularly because volatile markets, obviously consumers are increasingly going to digital channels. Tell me just first, what's your perspective of the digital customer today?
Yeah, so we're all the digital customer, right? The digital customer is in every household. The digital customer is going frequently to restaurants. They're ordering for themselves. They're ordering for their families, right? But the digital customer is looking for a completely different experience even too when they're online, right? And so one of the things that's super important for us to keep in mind, to think about is just what are the expectations of the digital customer, right? How can we make sure that they have a positive and fruitful experience with our restaurant partners and with our brands when they're dining online, right?
Yeah.
Ordering meals via apps, websites, everything, but we're all the digital customer.
Sure, yeah, increasingly ordering on the digital channels, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously PepsiCo, everybody thinks, okay, Pepsi, great beverages, but you guys have some tools available for restaurant operators beyond the product, which is great, but there are other tools that you have available to be a resource for your partners. Tell me more about that.
That's right, yeah. So I represent the Digital Lab here today in our conversation, right? And PepsiCo's Digital Lab is our global digital marketing group that specifically partners with food service partners of PepsiCo, right? So restaurants, hospitality, you name it, right? In the food service business, our goal is really to help our partners to drive more traffic to their menus, convert that traffic on their menus, and also retain those customers, retain those guests, right? And so to do so, we've developed a number of services and solutions and products that get at that, right? So everything from Media Pro, which is all about media and marketing investments that PepsiCo makes on behalf of our restaurant partners, but also the partnerships that we build with them to help them craft the perfect digital marketing strategies to reach consumers, to drive that traffic, right?
Sure.
All the way through to Menu Pro, which is our service around optimizing menus, where we're going in and looking at hundreds of thousands of menus with our customers globally around every year and making changes, simple changes at times too to the menus that translate into big conversion rate improvements and sales drivers.
Tell me about some of those changes that you would suggest, because if you're talking to an operator who's overwhelmed by all the things they have to stay on top of, obviously you're trying to be a resource, make this easier. So let's say you're talking to a restaurant operator, you're drilling in on their digital channel and how you can help. What are some examples of what you could help with?
Yeah. So it's our recommendations are grounded on years of research and experience around three key items that we see are drivers to menu opportunities. And that is around value, visibility, and variety, right? The 3 V's of menu optimizations, we call them. And so from a visibility standpoint, it's all about, are products visible? Are we actually making it easier for consumers and for customers to look at a menu and identify the products that are on there, the meals, drive that appetite appeal through visual cues? So that's the architecture, the structure, the way things are laid out. From a variety standpoint, we're all about looking at how are we stimulating more experiences, more opportunities for occasions for the customer as well too. You might be there for lunch, but you see something on the menu that stimulates you thinking, this is a great place for me to order dinner for the family as well too. Right? So that variety, whether it's in the products that you offer, the meals that you present, and the way your menu is structured, that's a really important element. And the last one is about value. And that's really a key one. It's how are we demonstrating value through the menu? And value is one of those things that's demonstrated through 3 levers, really. It's value of time, money, and effort, right? And so across those 3, one of the changes, a simple change as well too, for any type of restaurant, is to include combos, meals, bundles on their menus. And that is such a powerful lever for restaurants to actually demonstrate value of time. It's easy for me as a guest to be able to order an entire meal in one click. Value of money, it feels like I'm getting a great deal because I've got all of these items already bundled together. And the value of effort, it's again, that one click. I don't have to make a decision as to what I'm gonna pair as my side, which beverage I'm gonna get. It's already prepared. And we see that from a customer insights perspective as well too. 80% of guests on average will actually take what's on the combo and not remove any items and experience that curated bundle that you've created as the operator, right?
We all want simplicity, right?
Exactly.
So the fewer steps I can take to get the food and beverage I want, the better. You started this conversation by talking about, this is all of us. Obviously, all of us are the digital customer now. So it seems silly to ask, but why is this so important? Why is it that, PepsiCo is so focused on helping the restaurant partner be able to do this well?
Yeah, I mean, if we look back, right, let's go back 10 years, let's go back even 5 years, the digital mix of a restaurant's business was completely different than what it is today. It's entirely different from what it's going to be in 5, 10 years from now as well, too. That evolution, as restaurant operators, we need to stay ahead of. We need to stay in touch with the consumer and the expectations that we as customers have of the experience we're to have on our menus. And one of the opportunities that we saw there really is our restaurant partners are phenomenal at executing the restaurant experience. They have great menus, great food, great training for their staff, but all of that is missed when the only experience that a guest has with you is your digital menu. And that digital menu was actually a replica of the printed menu that you have or of the menu board that you have on premise, right? And so how do you translate that experience? How do you translate the guidance and the coaching of the experience you want your guests to have with your restaurant to an unassisted and unaided experience that is a digital experience, right? And that's really why we focus so much on that, because we know it's important for our customers, it's important for our restaurant partners to be able to continue to grow profitably their digital business and to have our support and our guidance in how to reach, convert, and retain those guests digitally, right? So that's really why we focused so much on this and why we also keep it very simple into those 3 pillars. If we can help our restaurant partners reach more guests, convert them more often, and keep them for new occasions and repeat frequency, then we know we're doing something good for our partners.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think of the evolution of the digital channels? Because obviously, you got your third-party marketplaces, you got your first-party, services. I'm just curious, like, how is this all evolving? How is the digital customer evolving, and how is PepsiCo staying on top of that evolution?
Yeah, the digital customer is evolving in their overall experiences from a digital perspective, right? And I talk about this a lot with our restaurant partners and with our teams. It's not just about the restaurant experience. The digital customer, the expectations that we have when we go to order a meal, be it on a marketplace platform, be it directly on the app or website of one of the restaurants, that experience is actually the expectations that you have are based on the experiences that you have watching movies online, ordering anything off of Amazon, buying things, browsing, searching for information, right? And so the way that we stay on top of things actually is by looking at consumer behavior just generally from a digital experience perspective. How do we engage with apps? How do we engage with our phones? How do we engage with browsing and searching for information? How do we engage in shopping? How do we learn from retail? How do we learn from any kind of experience where we are actually setting our expectations for when I do load a restaurant app or when I do go to a marketplace, I'm expecting to see things in a certain way. One of the examples of that, for example, is we recently did a study around how do we browse? And are there simple changes that we can make to the browsing behavior on an app? And we found that actually vertical scrolling, very simply, just ensuring that all of your items you have on a vertical scrolling basis is so intuitive to a guest, to a customer on your app, on your website, but also it's a leading driver to conversions and to adding those items to your basket, because we're just so much more used to and so much more prone to be able to make choices when you're comparing vertically than diagonally, horizontally, vertically as well too. Grid-based systems don't work very well for restaurants, and we learned that from retail. We learned that from learning from our retail partners, from our e-com partners, right? And so that's kind of how we stay on top of things as well too, just looking at the parallel experiences, the tangential experiences that consumers are having online and on apps, and how that can benefit us from a learned behavior for restaurants.
That's so overwhelming. I mean, I think I need a PepsiCo in my life to make my digital experience easier too, because it's a lot. So
hey, let's do it.
All right, so Andre, last question for you. If anybody is listening to this and they're like, that sounds great, I want that, how can they tap into PepsiCo's resources?
Absolutely. So many ways to tap into that. And if you're a local restaurant, I want to make sure that you're also plugged into our local Eats program, which is packed full of advantages and services that you have, from photography to media to menu optimizations. So if you're a local restaurant, that's very easy. You go to Pepsi.com, you'll find things there on local Eats as well too, and you can enroll in that and you can get signed up for our program. So that's a great one. And if you're a chain, if you're a restaurant group as well too, get in touch with your PepsiCo team. Reach out to us, whether it's on PepsiCo.com or whether it's through LinkedIn, whatever platform really you want to get in touch with us through. That's a great way to find the digital app, to find our PepsiCo team, and then we can share all of the various resources, right? If you're an existing PepsiCo partner, everything that we offer, from menu optimizations to media that we actually invest on behalf of our customers, it's all free to our customers. And the advantage there and what we're looking for is really to see our customers grow, right? See their businesses grow. So get in touch with us through Pepsi.com, our PepsiCo website, or LinkedIn, and be happy to help.
That's very exciting. André Moraes of PepsiCo's Food Service. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.